The Joker was Batman's greatest enemy, but now he's being cancelled. Why is he being cancelled? Well, in this video, we'll go over the story of what led to the Joker's cancellation. And does this man have anything to do with it? Spoiler alert, he does. It all starts in Gotham City, where Batman is chasing after the Joker. But it all comes to an end by Red Hood, who has come to kill the Joker. So before Jason can kill the Joker, Batman stops him and doesn't want him to kill the Joker for obvious reasons. They are the good guys, and Joker's the number one villain. If he dies, then... So yeah, the two of them start fighting, and, average father and son. So Joker realizes he has free will. He can just leave. Bruce and Jason are just very annoyed. So Bruce has had enough. He does not want to fight over this anymore. He doesn't care what Jason does to Joker anymore. He just wants Jason to not kill him. He can do anything, just don't kill him. Later at Oracle's clock tower, Jason is bothering Barbara about how he's making a list of things he can and can't do to Joker. She's fed up with him. And then Jason's like, well, what am I supposed to do? I want revenge. Then she jokes about the idea since everyone gets cancelled online lately. Why doesn't he just cancel Joker online? I mean, I'm surprised no one in the DC universe has ever done that before. And Jason's like, that's actually a good idea. So after he talks her into canceling Joker, and after one hacking scene later, they find out that Joker has nothing that could possibly get him canceled. Just to be clear, I know Joker has done a lot of terrible things in the past in different Batman stories. I mean, things that normal human beings would get canceled for. Not saying that the things Joker does wouldn't get him canceled. This is just meant to be funny. So Jason's mad because he actually thought he had a good idea, but then Barbara just hacks into his systems because, working with Batman, you have the most advanced computers in the world, more advanced than normal everyday computers that the government can use for some reason. Yeah, Batman is very advanced technology stuff. And this is before Batman Beyond, but anyway, she then gets to make it look like make Joker say whatever they want. It's complicated, very complicated. So they're gonna leak his fake DMs online, and yeah, this sounds crazy. Jason's confused, but he follows along eventually. So the next day, Bruce wakes up after 15 minutes of his sleep. And he decides he hasn't been on social media a lot, so he might decide to use it. He was absolutely traumatized. Oh yeah, and Penguin Zero makes a cameo because I thought it would be funny. And then everyone at Arkham Asylum absolutely want to distance themselves from the Joker. And Deathstroke's glad that people will probably start talking about the Joker's getting cancelled and not about what he did back in the 80s Teen Titans comics. And some of the other Teen Titans comics, do not look that up. So yeah, the Bat family is just confused about what all happened, and they're like, oh my god, out of everything Joker's ever done, this is what he's cancelled for? And then all Joker's sidekicks were like, you know what, let's just leave Joker. Joker needs to hire more bad guys now. And later on, they see Joker makes an apology video. This can only end one way. Yeah, he calls everyone in Gotham City and the world idiots because, they're canceling him. This will only end worse than this. I might have said that wrong. So Penguin Zero covers the Joker situation again, and Harley Quinn goes online and starts saying how horrible Joker is because they broke up after a while. because that's the thing now in DC that she's broken up with Joker. And then the whole Justice League have found this out, and they're like, "Yo, Batman!" And then Batman does not want to know about this. So then Jason and Barbara start celebrating after, since they were the ones who Joker affected the most as their heroes, and then Tim starts getting a bit suspicious about them because he's meant to be the smart one. So it would kind of be stupid if he was here and didn't start piecing some things together. Bruce is also smart, but he would probably be more going a bit crazy because Joker's getting canceled, and he's thinking, "Oh my God, he's my greatest enemy. This is damaging my publicity." Speaking of which, Bruce puts together a meeting, and he's basically like, "I think I need to stop making Joker my arch nemesis." And then the whole Bat family's there, and then Nightwing's like, "Okay, this is stupid. You cannot just make Joker not your arch nemesis just because he's being canceled." And then Batman's like, "Well, I have to think about my publicity." Oh yeah, and by the way, this is the first ever time I included Signal in as a part of the Bat family. I suck for not including him sooner. In my stories, that is. Anyway, Nightwing's like, "Are you serious right now?" And then he goes to attack Bruce, and then Tim has to break them up because they were about to fight. And then Damian's like, "Yo, Joker made a song," and then they're all like, "What?" Because as a reference to a certain person's horrible song. Yeah, Lunchley. So yeah, they listen to it and they're like, "Oh no." Penguin Zero covers this situation for a third time. KSI and Logan Paul are like, "Oh my God, this guy's trying to outdo us." And then the Titans start bugging Nightwing about it, just like how the Justice League were bugging Batman about it. So Joker's like, "You know what? I'm fed up with this. I'm gonna make everyone suffer with stuff." And then he prepares for his master plan. Later, Tim's having a bit of a existential crisis. I think I said that right. Because he doesn't know if Jason and Barbara really are responsible for Joker being canceled. And then spoilers on about, "Hey, yo, have you been dating Superboy behind my back?" Because that's apparently popular in the DC fan community. DC fans are a bit strange. Yeah, she straight up accuses him of cheating on her with Superboy. I mean, like, to be fair, have you read some of those comics? I mean, like, Tim and Superboy have an awesome friendship. I love their friendship. They are so cool. I'm getting off topic. Anyway, Tim blabbers out that Jason and Barbara might be responsible, so he leaves. Yeah, funny. Anyway, then Jason and Barbara are celebrating because Joker has been ruined, and then Batman shows up because it's going to get intense now. So Bruce, Dick, and Tim are all confronting them about how they're responsible for the Joker getting canceled. Meanwhile, Dick's looking off into the distance, and he's like, Bruce, Bruce." And then Bruce is like, "So what do you have to say for yourselves?" And then Dick's like, "Bruce." And then Bruce is like, What is so important that it can't wait?" And then he's just like, "Look." And then we see Joker riding a giant slime monster thing, which is a bit like Clayface in a way, tearing up Gotham City. Anyway, then Bruce is so mad at Jason, and he's like, "Look what you frickin' did." And then Tim's like, "Maybe I should handle this, Bruce." And then Bruce is like, "Fine, a bit of good cop won't hurt. And then Tim just punches Jason in the face and is like, "Are you insane? You idiot!" And then what he says is all censored out because like he goes a bit far. Anyway, Bruce is like, "Okay, that's enough." And then Barbara's like, "Yeah, I was also kind of responsible. I should, unlike Jason, I am going to take responsibility." And then Bruce's like, "Yeah, you're both being punished after this." And then they're like, "What? No fair." Then Dick is like, "Hey, hello, have we all forgotten there's a giant slime monster in Gotham City?" And then Bruce is like, "Okay, Nightwing, Red Hood, follow me. We're gonna take care of this thing. And Tim, Barbara, call for backup." And Tim's like, "Okay, I'm gonna call the Justice League and the Titans." And then Bruce is like, "Are you serious? This is a Batman solo story. We can only call Bat Family members." And then Batman, Nightwing, and Red Hood go off to face off the monster. So yeah, as the ultimate battle happens, Nightwing is punched by the giant monster. I mean, like, some Nightwing fans will be like, "Oh, come on, Nightwing is very acrobatic and probably would dodge that." Which I like to say, this thing is massive. So there's literally, even if he tried, he couldn't dodge it. Not to mention Jason was just talking nonstop. He's very annoying. Anyway, Joker's like, "Ha, this is over." And then Red Hood is like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I was the one who got you canceled." And it was like, "Hey, you can have me, just leave everyone else alone." And the Joker's like, "Okay." And Jason's like, oh my god, I didn't actually think it was gonna work. I wouldn't have said that it was gonna work." And then Joker's like, "No, I mean, I'm gonna kill you again, then destroy the city." And then Jason's like, "Oh, come on." But luckily, the big hero moment happens. Tim brings in the whole Bat family. We got Signal, Spoiler, Orphan, Damian, Batwing, and Batwoman. I'm not forgetting anyone, am I? So yeah, they all attack Joker's giant monster thing, and then Oracle tells Batman that if they put a bomb on the monster and blow it up, then it will cause the chemicals that create the monster to melt. And then Jason's like, "Hey, I have a stash of bombs not too far from here." And then Bruce is like, "Are you kidding me?" No way. And then Jason's like, "I'm sorry for having the very thing that will save our lives. So hold them off until I get back." So then like the whole Bat family just attack the thing while Jason goes all the way through Gotham City just to get his stuff. And he finds the bombs, and yeah, he just goes all the way back to them, and then yeah. So Jason makes his heroic jump to get the Joker, and then he's gonna jump all the way over to the monster. He throws the bomb, it goes in the monster's mouth, it explodes, and it melts. Joker falls to the ground, Batman catches him, and he goes back to jail. So later, Penguin Zero makes his final video on the Joker situation, and he's like, "Guys, the Joker situation is such lies. I can't believe I fell for this. Please help." And then everyone is just like, "Oh my god, Joker's here." And then Joker's like, "What the hell, Riddler? You're my... Why are you being friends with me?" Because Riddler's like, "Well, me and Joker were friends, but that does not mean you have to just leave me out of all the all like our being, you know, you can't just leave me alone at lunchtime at Arkham." And Deathstroke is now annoyed because he'll probably be talked about for the things he has done in the DC universe. Do not look that up. And so Bruce just puts Jason and Barbara in the timeout corner in the Batcave. And then Jason's like, "This is stupid." And then she wants him to shut up. And then he's like, "Well, I technically didn't do anything. You were the one who gave me the idea and did all the work." And then she's like, shut up. And then Jason keeps talking, and then she's like, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna hurt you real bad. And then they start arguing, and then Alfred's like, aren't you concerned about the noise monster, Bruce? And then Bruce is like, nope, those two being put together is good enough punishment for both of them. And this was how the Joker was cancelled. That's it. Subscribe. And hopefully Red Hood doesn't get you cancelled for something you didn't do.